All right, all right. Hello, Idea Lab. It's Suzanne Taylor for day 5 of the Build Your Authority Challenge. I'm just going to hang out for a few seconds here while we get live in the group and the notifications go out. If you don't know me and you're joining me here, I am Suzanne Taylor, life and business coach for entrepreneurs. And this challenge, this Build Your Authority challenge that started last Friday, we've had a live every day and a special training last Saturday for everyone just here in this group. So these lives are only for everyone here in the Idea Lab community. So if you've missed any of the content from this week, please scroll down in the group or use that little search button to search Build Your Authority, and all the videos will come up for you. I will also be posting these videos on my personal page next week and on my YouTube channel. So if you don't know where to find me, those are the places I'm going to be showing up. And if you're joining me live, please say hello in the comments. I love tailoring my content to my audience. So if you're here live, say hello. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know how this challenge is going for you so far. If you're finding the information valuable, if you've downloaded your ideal client worksheets, and how that work is going. And as always, if you're catching the replay of any of these videos, please just ask your questions in the comments and I will be sure to come back and answer them for you. Good morning, Rachel. Nice to see you here this morning. All right, we're going to jump right into today's kind of seemingly three random topics, but by the end of this short video, you're going to see exactly how they go together. And full engagement, are you fully engaged? Are you using hashtags and how that relates to your engagement? And don't oversell yourself. And is there such a thing? Let's talk about it. All right, let's jump right in. I want to keep this short and sweet for you guys today. It's a beautiful day out, and I want to get out on my walk and encourage you to get back to work. So, once you've discovered where your target audience hangs out, and this is really exciting. When you figure out where your target audience is, you can show up there, right? When you know where to go, you can go there anytime you want to. It's kind of like clients on demand, which is kind of cool. Actually, the name of somebody's company, which is kind of interesting. You no longer have to guess about where that next client is going to come from. Now you can go a little bit deeper for full engagement and do that research and actually lead to real ideas to help you engage with them even more. Plus, today you're going to get some content ideas to share with your audience. So, number one tip for full engagement. Hope you got your pen ready. Read questions and keep an ongoing list, whether it's a spreadsheet or whether you're using a Facebook or Instagram CRM to keep track of your comments. When you find your ideal audience and you begin listening and paying attention, read their questions. Use that little search tab in the groups that you're hanging out in and search for questions. How to, what if, how do I, and search the groups for questions that you can answer, especially those larger groups, 50 to 500,000 people in a group. You're going to have to search for comments and read other people's answers to relevant questions for your niche and your product and your services and respond to those. Get conversations started. You can get a lot of insight from disagreement. Hey, Jody, what's up, girl? Um, you can get a lot of insight from disagreement. And I'm going to say that because I had a disagreement with someone online numerous times. But the most recent one, um, it it really went back and forth a couple times, but not with me, with other people who were arguing my point on my behalf, people I didn't even know. And I reached out to those people and said, yo, thanks so much for your support on the online drama. I didn't respond to those comments and those questions, but thanks for your support anyway. And sometimes disagreement can actually bring people together. So um, I think you can get a lot of insight when you read other people's comments as well. Um, Tip number two, read busy social posts. So, what does that mean? So, give a search on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, any social media platform that you're on, and look for trending content. There's a couple people on LinkedIn that get 30,000 likes every time they post. Well, I make sure I follow those people because they're relevant for my business, and I comment on the posts that they make if I feel called to do that. Has to be authentic, don't get me wrong, can't be a fake comment. And you have to put some thought into it, not just, ooh, awesome article, ooh, love this. No, it's got to be a little deeper than that, especially on LinkedIn. So, if you can, follow those people and comment on their stuff. It really helps. All right, tip number three, read competitions, blog post comment. Now, I don't mean direct competition, but I mean people who are in your industry. Do you have your favorite blogs that you follow? Do you have certain things that you read on a weekly basis? If you do, be a regular in the comments. And hey, if you're watching a lot of YouTube videos about how to get your business started, how to run your business, how to learn social media, I learned so much from different people on YouTube. And I actually built a relationship with the person I learned YouTube from just by commenting, asking questions, and getting her responses in the comments of her videos. And now we're connected. We've had one on one Zoom conversations, and not so she can sell me her stuff, but because we are connected now. So I just want to encourage making comments, asking questions. If you're following me, asking questions and making comments not only boosts my engagement, but it also boosts your exposure if we happen to have the same ideal client. Let me repeat that. By interacting, if you have the same ideal client as me or anyone else, right? By interacting with me and my posts, you're going to get more exposure to your ideal clients. And this doesn't mean interacting to sell. This doesn't mean interacting to private message people, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. No, this is about being and showing up authentically so that people end up following you and reaching out to you. All right, I'm going to pause there for a second for dramatic effect. All right, next, you want to make sure that when you're engaging, it's with the highest, best intelligence that you could bring to the table. Um, Stay out of politics, religion, drama, and just show up with the value that your business brings to the table. When you're engaging in someone else's Facebook group, my personal belief, if that person's Facebook group, if they're a business coach like me, I'm not engaging in that group to sell my services. That is their group. That is their customer base. They are curating that group, much like I'm curating this group, to expose themselves to people who could potentially be clients of theirs. Now, I'm not going to go to that group and show up and try to sell people. I'm not going to send private messages and say, hey, I'm a better business coach than this person. Why don't you come work with me? No, this is just, well, at least for me, morally, I want to show up and just have people follow me if my message resonates. Not in competition with someone else, not over someone else. It just doesn't feel right to me. So, this is about just building awareness of your brand. Next tip, check Google search suggestions. Google is your friend here. Let me know in the comments if you have ever used Google to search yourself, to search your keywords, to search questions that your ideal client might be asking. I do it all the time. And I'm going to let you know if I'm writing a blog post or a social media post, say about hashtags. I am going to go to Google and say hashtags for small business, or how do I use hashtags effectively? And I'm going to see what questions my ideal client is asking. I'm going to ask those same questions. Awesome, Jody. Not only Google search yourself, but the questions that your ideal client is asking or might be asking. Also, look up those relevant hashtags. Now, you see how hashtags relates to full engagement. If your audience uses hashtags in their post, including your competition, use those hashtags to search for more information on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. See who people are following. Search your hashtag, search your name hashtag, always use your name hashtag. And I use the name of my Facebook group here on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. So you might find a lot of posts with those same hashtags, and that lets you know what's the trending, what's the popular information that's happening in the wellness hashtag or the weight loss hashtag or transformation or coach, whatever your niche is. You get the idea. Plus, you'll get some great content ideas. I get phenomenal ideas from somebody who uses the hashtag LinkedIn on LinkedIn all the time. He posts funny jokes and polls and super valuable social media networking information. And all I have to do is go up and search hashtag LinkedIn, and typically something of his comes up. All right, last tip, invite ideal audience members, ideal clients for an interview. How do you do that? Well, when you see someone who's a member of another Facebook group or maybe writes a great blog that you read, what if you reached out to them and asked them for an interview? It could be 5 minutes, it could be a half hour, but ask them if they're open to answering some questions. Invite them to be interviewed without pressure. Hey, you want to hang out over coffee sometime and do it on Facebook Live for my tribe? I would love to expose you to more people. That's what I say. And I'm going to put that offer out right now. If you're watching this video and you want to have a 10-minute coffee chat with me about you and your business, and you want to do it here in this group or do it on my business page where you would get even more exposure, let me know. Reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about you and your business, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, what needs work. Let's do it. Send me a private message and we'll get that scheduled. So when you are that helpful resource for people, giving them what they ask for, helping them when they need help. You become known as that helpful resource. And what better way to stay on top of people's minds? Of course, that's not all that you do. You can't possibly give everything that you do away for free, but you can take those helpful resources and turn them into authentic sales conversations with some curious questions. And we'll go more into that later in this training. And we also go deep, deep, deep into that in my program, The Confident Entrepreneur. If you're interested in hearing more about that 3 month intensive program with 6 months of coaching and accountability and support that come along with it, comment below Confident Entrepreneur, and I would be happy to send you some more information. Okay, last topic for today and how it relates. Avoid overselling yourself. I can't stress this enough. It happens to me at least once a day, if not 10. And whether you find your audience in person or online, it's imperative that you become a resource for them before you try to sell them. If you agree with that, give me a hell yes in the comments. People do not like feeling that every time they hear from you or every time they ask for help somewhere, that all they get is sold to. We are constantly being sold to. And if someone just shows up and helps me authentically, I am much more apt to want to get to know about what they do, and is it possibly a good fit for me or someone I know? Of course, if you're selling them a product and you don't ask them to buy it, then you're never going to make sales. But how do we know when to go in for the sale? I'm going to give you some tips. So, if you're selling before you know if the person is married, has kids, how long they've been in business, or you haven't met them in person or on Zoom like this, it's too soon to sell them on working with you or buying your products. Now, that's my personal belief. Um, I don't feel as though I'm going to ask somebody to work with me that I have not spoken to. That's just the nature of coaching. That's the nature of business consulting with a business owner. They're not going to work with me unless they've met me and spoken to me. Um, Now, selling online programs, absolutely. Have I sold things online to people I've never even met? Yes, absolutely. Typically lower end products under $500, but after they purchase something, they do get to know me. So I want to just stress that if you're under the assumption that you can show up online and start selling your products or your services without building relationships with people, you've been misinformed. And if you approach it in the way I'm describing, you are playing the long game. It will take you longer to sell your high-end products and services, but you will have longer relationships. You will have more referrals and more repeat customers. And I'm going to give you this example. When somebody says no to your product or services because you've sold them too quickly, do they stay in your world or do they ghost you? Ask yourself that question When someone says no to my products or services, do they stay following me? Do they stay in relationship with me? And if your answer is no, you've probably sold them too quickly. All right, I'm going to wrap up today with this. Getting on social media and talking all day, messaging all day is not productive. If you're spending more than 20 to 30 minutes once or twice a day in your answering questions, messaging, posting, you're not going about it the right way. And if you want to learn a better way, a more productive way, a more thought out long term strategy, comment below and I'll send you a link and we'll hop on a quick 30-minute call, no charge, and no sales pitch and no obligation. Just some tips for you to show up in less time and build more authority. All right, that's it for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's live. If you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay and feel free to drop any questions in any of the videos here in this Build Your Authority challenge. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Friday already, twice tomorrow, once at 9 and once at 5 with 2 mini trainings. Don't miss it. Talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome Thursday.